This is going to be a very quick update video talking again about the new Skillshare teacher payment. And I want to start by saying thank you very much to all of those of you who commented on that video. All the comments were from fellow teachers. So it's nice to know that we're all in the same boat, even if it's not one that we really want to be in. In that video, we talked about the estimates because at that time, the figures for October, which is when the changes started to take place, were only based on the estimate that we were going to get. Now, as we've passed the 16th of the month, which we know is payday, we can actually talk about what we've actually got as opposed to an estimate. When I talked about it then, my estimates were showing that I was going to get about a 70% reduction in the money that I was getting paid. It actually turns out that when I got paid yesterday, it's about a 60% reduction, slightly higher than that, maybe between 55 and 60% reduction. So this is particularly frustrating when you look at the viewing figures, because my viewing figures were the same or almost exactly the same in September and October. I meet the limit for the hours watched every day, never mind in the span of a month. So every day, I think it's 75 minutes or something like that. I'm going over that. And so this was particularly galling that I had the same amount of views in October as I did in September, but I was only getting 40% basically, so a 60% reduction. Also, in addition to that, I got a lot more new students. So in September, I gained new students, but not to the extent that I did in October. In October, I gained a lot more new students, and I gain new students every day. And again, that's very frustrating because I'm getting all these new students when I'm actually not in a position where I'm wondering whether I want to carry on with Skillshare or not. And I know that's one thing a lot of you have mentioned in the comments down below. One gentleman did mention about how silly the estimates are because they've never really meant that much because they don't seem to shift throughout the month, which, you know, they're not real-time estimates. And mine have always been slightly higher than the estimates, which obviously is a good thing for me. That was true this time as well. But now with this new modelling system, the way it's all worked out, those estimates are kind of irrelevant anyway. They don't tally up to anything. So really, the information that we've got, we haven't got any real-time information. And if we look at other things like I sell books on KDP, I've just started doing that. And every day it tells you how many books you've sold. So you know that at the end of the month, what money you're going to be given, paid. And similar things with YouTube. You know, you can go on YouTube, you can see how much every individual video is making. You've got all that real-time information on the payment that you're going to be getting at the end of the month. And Skillshare has always been pretty woeful, but it hasn't really been a problem when you know that it's going to be a sizable amount, well, not sizable, a decent amount for the work that you've put in. I agree with many of you that put in the comments there that you're not going to carry on. I really don't know, because although it's a much lower amount, it's now a very similar amount to my YouTube money. So that 60% reduction kind of takes it to level with what I'm getting paid for on YouTube every month. So it's a handy amount of extra money to have. It's not an amount of money that I could live off, but it's an amount of money that's handy to have as an extra. And especially at the moment, obviously, we all want that. So whether I carry on Skillshare or not, I don't really know. I'm not going to say that I'm not at the moment, but I think it will be some time before I put another class up on Skillshare. I'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and spend a lot more time learning about editing and lighting and all that kind of thing. Although I've been on YouTube a long time now, I think it's about 7 or 8 years. I've really not done anything with it over the last couple of years. I've been very busy at home with other things, with family commitments, and I've not done much on YouTube for the last couple of years. And the nice thing about it is the money from YouTube has actually grown in that time. So whilst I've not been uploading videos, the money each month has actually been getting larger. So work that one out. One of the first videos I ever did was absolutely terrible. And it's still making money every day. So that just shows how evergreen content, as artists and teachers, it's really worthwhile using YouTube. We're in a good position as teachers, I think, on YouTube because our content is evergreen. It's not just so topical. If you're talking about something that's in the news today, in 5 years' time, nobody's going to be looking up that video. But if you're doing a a drawing class, how to draw whatever, in 5 years' time, somebody might be looking for that class and they'll find you on YouTube. So YouTube is constantly growing, and I think it's a really good platform for both artists and teachers. So I'm going to try and really concentrate on getting the quality of my videos better and carry on putting them on YouTube. And I may at some point put one on Skillshare, but it will probably be a shorter class than I've been used to doing. And we'll see how we go from there. And certainly if I keep getting them sent back for sound quality, etc., I won't be doing it anymore. One lady did say in the comments that she got her video rejected for not speaking, and that's another thing that Skillshare do. They have this policy where you've got to have 50% of you talking. Well, I can understand that to an extent. However, when it's something like a lengthy painting tutorial, it is people do quite like just to watch you paint, and they learn from that. And it's quite nice to put a little bit of music on and they watch you paint, and you might put some subtitles up to talk about what you're doing. And you don't just want to be boring them by talking all the time and repeating yourself. So that's a bit of a funny policy. And you can actually put some really good tutorials up that don't have any speech at all, that are just, you put some slides up that explain what's going on. So there's all sorts of ways that Skillshare can say, oh, sorry, your class isn't good enough. And when they have that combined with these new payments, it's really going to put teachers off. And I'm starting to ask myself, is that what they actually want? Do you think Skillshare want to put a certain proportion of teachers off so that they reduce it down just to the ones that are making the quality that they want, and that but then again, surely they'd want the people that have paid for a monthly membership to have access to as many tutors as possible. I'm not sure. And I've always tried to keep the quality of mine as good as I can. And really, to me, the quality of the teaching is perhaps more important than the lighting quality. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so that's that. Let me know how you've gone on. I know some of you put comments on the other video saying that you've already got your payments, and many of you are probably around that 70% lower mark, which is an awful lot of money to take a reduction of. So that's that. Disappointing. And what we thought, really. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Good luck with whatever you decide to do, whether you decide to put your work on other platforms, or if you try and carry on with Skillshare, or if you're going to do more here on YouTube. I certainly think I'm going to be sticking to YouTube for the time being. Okay, I'll perhaps see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.